Well, looks like it's time for Sonic fans to get mad at me now because I'm talking about something negative. Ooh. So yep, we are back with once again another video on Sonic X Shadow Generations, a banger name. And unfortunately in today's video, we're going to be talking about a lot of issues that have been spotted in Sonic X Shadow Generations. Some of them are quite minor, but some of them are quite major, so without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's take a look at the news at hand. Onto Twitter. We Sonic Rush. Actually, hang on, just before we carry on with the video. Something tells me that you're not subscribed. How do I know that, you ask? Well, look at this. Are you seeing that right now? Most of the people watching this video right now aren't subscribed. What's going on with that then, eh? Press that subscribe button right the hell now because, you know, just saying, Sega was telling me that if you don't subscribe right now, they ain't releasing that Unleashed port. Okay, they didn't actually say that, but come on man, you should still subscribe right now. You won't regret it. Trust me. Anyways, I'll stop bothering you now, so on with the video. So here we have a tweet from Remic. Sick, okay, the Sony trailers more explicit about the game. Actually looking like it's captured on PS5, so remaster probably does mean it's just a res bump. That's interesting. It really is just Bowser's Fury. And yeah, you can see this shot of the trailer on PlayStation's channel, and yeah, it says captured on PS5 down below there. And that does mean that the game is going to look like this on PS5. Now, some people might come out and say, you know what, that's actually a good thing because at least it will look worse, right, like Colors Ultimate, and I can understand that to an extent, but in my opinion, I honestly think that it should have been ported to the Hedgehog Engine 2 to make it look better, at least with the lighting. Because even though Sonic Generations doesn't look bad in today's standards, it still does look very outdated, especially when you have that Shadow game package in with it, and yeah, it just makes it look a lot worse. I definitely think that they should have tried attempting to make the game look better by at least porting it to the Hedgehog Engine 2 or something like that. Or maybe even updating the textures because, yeah, Generations textures don't look the greatest now. And especially since we're going to have this game on Steam and maybe alongside the original Generations, the difference isn't really going to be noticeable at all, essentially. Now, I know some people are going to bring up Bowser's Fury for Super Mario 3D World on Switch and say, well, that game did look completely different to the original, so what's the problem, Unleash? Alright, well, I'll tell you, here's the problem. The difference between the Switch and the Wii U isn't really that significant. Obviously the Switch is still superior to the Wii U, but it's not significantly better than it or anything like that. Whereas comparing the PS3 and PS5 is basically night and day. They definitely could have had Generation looking a lot better, I think. Definitely could have made it look a lot better. But I suppose all their attention was mostly on the shadow part of this entire thing, so I guess I can let it slide, but still. Original Generations could have at least had something major done to it, but oh well. Right, here we have the next tweet from Blue Wolf Blitz. Slightly worried about minor details in gens. Shadow filtering here looks messed up. Then we can see a screenshot of the remaster right here, and that shadow is all kinds of pixelated. It just makes you wonder what this remaster actually does to the game, because if it is an upscaling of the game, then bro, don't leave the shadows out of it. Come on, make those better as well. Like, they've been very adamant about stating that this is specifically a remaster and upscaling of the game and enhancing it and everything like that, but I'm not really seeing much of the enhancements here. It just basically looks exactly the same. It's mostly just a port than a remaster, which again, that is fine, but why are they just saying it's a remaster then? Just say it's a port. You don't have to say it's a remaster, like, good god. Right, next tweet from Blaze Hedgehog. I posted this on Tumblr, but there is reasonably minor visual differences between Sonic X Shadow Generations and the original game. Seem like they're using a very slightly different classic Sonic model. And here we have a screenshot of the original Generations of City Escape Classic, and yeah, normal looking screenshot, right? But then we go over to Sonic X Shadow Generations, and yeah, to start off with, the lighting is a lot brighter here. It's very, very bright here. But then also, Classic Sonic's model is slightly different. Now, I actually noticed this in the trailer as well, that his spine looks a bit longer or something. Like, they're placed very weirdly compared to the original game. Actually, no, weirdly is the wrong word to use here. They're placed differently here because honestly, I think they look better in the remaster, honestly. I think I like the way they look here. I think it gives Classic Sonic a bit of an edge and just makes them look a bit cooler, honestly, and yeah, I kind of prefer it. And then in terms of the brighter lighting in the remaster, I think I kind of prefer it as well, actually. I don't know what they've done to make it brighter, if it's just like a bloom or maybe it is a different lighting engine, I'm not sure, but I think I do slightly kind of prefer it, honestly. I mean, none of the screenshots look really bad per se, but yeah, I think I slightly prefer the brighter lighting in the remaster. Right, another tweet from Remic. One fun little way you can tell Sonic X Shadow Generations footage is new is a visual bug. Green Hills, Meta Instancer, grass is incorrectly coloured, right image is SXSG. So here we have regular Generations footage, yeah, just normal Generations footage, and you can see the grass on the right there, so just take note of that, because when we go to the remaster, we can see here that it's yellow now. Okay, quite interesting. So we have a bit of insight on this issue here. So are they rebaking the GIA then? Maybe we're getting higher resolution shadow maps. The bounce lighting seems stronger in some scenes as well. Nah, that's probably not happening. My theory is this is a bug translating the MTI system to the PS5 from the Xbox, etc. Forks. I feel like the red and blue channels got flipped basically. That can happen when converting shaders sometimes. I'm sure it'll be fixed eventually. It's an easy detail to miss, so I wouldn't bet on it. Especially because if I'm right, it might be a PS5 only issue. Back in the day, these kind of platform dependent problems would get missed all the time. Only would get fixed if someone thinks orange grass on PS5 is wrong, lol. This and the shadow issue are details so minute they could honestly go either way, whether they fix them before fall or not. Like, it seems simple enough to fix that it should definitely be possible, as long as it's brought to their attention. We think the issue with shadow casting might be more noticeable in dark stages like Chemical Plant and the interior Sky Sanctuary. That also means they're probably aware of the shadow issue for what it's worth, so that I expect to get fixed at some point when they figure out the cause. Now the Blue Blur 2000 flash does point out they can actually see the waterfall a lot better in the screenshot too. So just looking at the waterfall in the background, yeah, it's actually a lot more noticeable in the Generations remaster, so I guess that's something that's good. But yeah, there's starting to be a lot more smaller issues with the porting of this remaster to PS5 it seems. And once again, I know what people are gonna say, Unleash, it's such a minor detail, why do you care so much, blah 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 blah. Well, why does it matter if it's a small detail or not? The big or small, it shouldn't be there in the first place. As more and more of these issues start to pile up all of a sudden, yeah, they're gonna turn into more of a bigger issue. Maybe even making the remaster look worse in a lot of areas, so yeah, it definitely should be pointed out. I mean, besides, we have a lot of time here until the game's actually supposed to release, so if we bring up the issues right now, then maybe Sega can see them and think that they should probably fix them. So we should definitely be pointing out the issues with the game right now before it's too late. Then this tweet right here from Jubbulub, also the shadow is missing. And yeah, on the right here we have the original Generations, and on the left is the remaster, and there's a weird shadow that's actually just disappeared here, which is I suppose is interesting. I'm sure if you looked a lot harder, this would be appearing a lot more, but again, this is something else that needs to be fixed, because if a lot more of these shadows are just removed, then that means a lot of the areas might look brighter than they're supposed to be. So yeah, Sega, you should probably get on these issues, please. Let's make sure they get fixed, yeah. But now for the final thing, which is something that isn't in the trailer, which is actually outside of the game, and yeah, it's about the pricing of the game. So in the screenshot right here from Game Store in the UK, where you buy, surprise surprise, games, we can see the PS5, Switch, and Xbox version of the game all here, and oh boy, that pricing, ooh, £60, oof, for a Generations remaster that is possibly looking worse than the original, ugh, oof, okay Sega, okay. Now to put that in context, £60 is actually equivalent to $75 US. And because of conversion rates and everything like that, I don't think it's going to be 75, but instead $70 in the US. And yeah, that's still not much better, is it? This has to mean that the shadow part of Sonic X Shadow Generations has to be like a significant part of the game. Like, it better be like a couple hours at least. But then I just sit here and remember that this is the same company that released Sonic Superstars also for £60, which was £5 more than Sonic Frontiers, the open world game. So I'm not sure if this pricing is going to be related to the content of the game, or if it's there because Sega got greedy. I'm not sure. But I think this pricing is really going to hurt the sales of the game, because I've been seeing a lot of people actually excited for the game and saying that, bro, you know what, I'm gonna buy this because of Shadow. And yeah, that's all good and dandy, but this price point might actually scare them away and make them not buy it. I mean, all this game is this a remaster, well, barely a remaster if you can even call it that, of a 13-year-old game that doesn't look any different at all, except worse in some areas. And then possibly a short Shadow campaign, which in all fairness does look pretty cool, so I'll give them that, but still, I don't think it's worth £60, aka $70, Sega. Like, come on, bro. You're saying this is worth more than Sonic Frontiers? Is that what you're saying? Like, I disagree, Sega. I disagree. And then think about the people buying this game on PC, aka me and a lot of other people. We already own Sonic Generations, and then if we're going to be buying this £60, that means we're paying for Sonic Generations again for no reason. Now, if Sonic Generations was actually remade in the Hedgehog Engine 2, then you know what? I'd put my hands up and say, you know what, okay, fair enough, this price is fine, but it's not a remake or anything like that, it's just a very, very bare bones remaster. Now, it is quite early days yet, so maybe as time goes on we'll see more content added to the original generations, and maybe even have this price lowered, but as it stands right now, yeah, I don't think this is a reasonable asking price, honestly. And it's definitely going to affect sales heavily. Maybe Sega are getting cocky because 1, Movie 3 is coming out, and 2, this game just has Shadow in it, so people will buy automatically. I don't know, Sega. I don't know. I really think this price should be lowered, man, because I do think it's going to actually hurt the sales of the game. Like, people are going to be shying away from that price point. They really are. Even if it's only by $10, I think that's a significant amount of money to reduce the price by, and maybe it might be justified as well. Like $60 for this game, again, depending on how much content is actually in Shadow Generations, it could be worth it, but $70, no, definitely not. No. Anyways, that about does it for today's video. So yeah, some issues, some which are quite minor, some which are very major, have been now seen for Sonic X Shadow Generations, and I hope it stays at this point. I don't want more issues to just keep bringing up and up, because man, I'm kind of excited for this game right now, and I don't want my hype levels to slowly go down and down as time goes on. Like, please Sega, don't fumble the bag, don't fumble it. You have me and many others hooked right now, so don't lose our attention and interest. Please don't, I beg. But what do you guys think of this asking price for this game? Do you think $70 is worth it or not? Let me know down below. I'd love to see what you guys have to say. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, especially that last one. Don't forget to become unleashed by hitting that join button down below. Remember, it's not necessary. And I'll see you all next time. Peace!